Today I will be taking you along my borscht recipe. Follow closely. So, step 1, add 2 cups of water, add 2 cups of water, add 2 cups of water. By this point, I realized this isn't going to be enough water for my borscht. So, I'm just going to dump a whole bunch of water in there, call it good. Any second now. Oh, water. Magic. So now that I have the water, I'm going to put this baby on the stove and set it to a nice degree of high. And now I've added a chicken leg on a bone. So here's a quick little overview of some of the ingredients you may use in borscht. Now I'm going to wash these little beets because they're covered in dirt and they've been in the ground for a long time. And now we got the chicken is boiling. Magic. So we're gonna add these 3 tomatoes, just whole tomatoes, because that's the way the Ukrainians do it, you guys. Don't ask me any questions. Ooh, at this point I realized the water was gonna splash me in the face, so I gingerly let go and drop them into the pot. Success. Now I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes and let those babies boil. Okay, now the beets are ready to go. So the beets, they need to be peeled. And the fun part is your hands get all nice and red. So peeled, now they have to be grated, which is the worst part of this whole thing. But has to be done for the sake of the borscht. So, now that I've grated 1 whole beet, I got 2 more to go, but you know, I'm getting real tired. Okay, back to the chicken. It is done, so we're gonna take out these little puppies. Ooh, I'm an idiot. I left a tag on one of these tomatoes, but you know what? Mistakes happen. So we're gonna take those out and let them breathe for a minute. Alright, now we got potatoes. Let's get these boys washed and peeled. Now let's get them chopped and quartered. Now it's time to assess the carrot situation. You know what, at first I thought, let's do 2 carrots. But then I realized I only had 4 carrots anyway, so I just did the whole bag. Wash them, and now let's start grating these puppies and get them ready to go. Okay, now that they are grated, washed, we're going to add them to the beets. And then I also chopped this onion and cried. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of oil to a pan and add in the beets, carrots, and onions to get these suckers fried. Get the juices flowing. You want to make sure they're nice, golden, crispy. So now that they fried for sufficient time, we are going to add them back to the pot of water. So now watch me as I try to get this lined up in that circle. Yeah, okay, not happening. Great. So let's check on the potatoes. They've been cooking in there. I think I forgot to tell you I put them in, but I did. So they're looking good. They're looking fresh. They're holding their shape, but they are still a good, nice, soft consistency. Okay, so at this point, we need to start adding everything back into the soup in the pot. So first, we're going to add a nice spoonful of this tomato paste. Don't really measure. And then a bouillon cube. I'm using a chicken one because I did chicken for this broth, for this borscht. Wow. But you know what? You can do whatever you fancy. And let me tell you, this baby adds a nice flavor. You're definitely not going to want to forget it. Okay, so now that we have that back in there, I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit, let this start boiling, and boom, I've added everything back in, but I still need to add in the tomatoes and the chicken that I've peeled off of the bone. So let's get those added in and see how we're looking from there. Now that everything is added back in, we're going to let this sit for 10 minutes just to make sure everything is cooked and flowing together. So now we just have a few extra finishes, like this cabbage. So we are gonna put this whole cabbage into the borscht. I usually like to peel off the outer layers because they're a little dirty. They're kind of beat up a little bit. So I'm gonna peel those back, which is really hard to do with one hand, but watch me struggle. And we'll come back when it is chopped. Oh, beautiful. So now that it's chopped and ready to go, we're gonna add this into the borscht. Just little by little. It's nice because it's not gonna splash. So now that I've got all the cabbage in there, I'm gonna stir it, mix it up, get it nice and in there. So the very last ingredient is dill, and I cannot tell you enough, dill is crucial to the borscht. You need the dill. So I've chopped it up nice and fine. I'm adding it to the borscht. And then I'm gonna stir it in there, and I let it simmer again for 10 minutes with everything in. And now at this point, the borscht is done, you guys. You slaved over this for probably 2 hours. Now you get to enjoy yourself a nice little bowl of borscht. Enjoy!